What's better than a zero tick kelp farm? Yeah, that's right. A quad zero tick kelp farm that fills a double chest with kelp every 30 seconds. Mind-blowing, right? This awesome design is based on one by Addy7811. He is linked in the description. Now let's jump in and start building. This kelp farm needs to be built across 4 chunks. Before we go on, let me pause for a second. I'm using a resource pack to find the chunk borders, but don't worry if you can't install one. I'll be uploading a tutorial tomorrow on my second channel that shows you how to find chunk borders without any tools. The channel is linked in the description and the video will be up tomorrow. Alright, let's continue. Here we've got a chunk border where 4 chunks meet. I'm going to mark each chunk by placing 2 blocks so I can remove the resource pack. These 2 diamond blocks belong to this chunk, these 2 emerald blocks mark the next one, and so on. Now that I've marked out the chunks, I can go ahead and remove the resource pack. Inside this chunk, place a solid block next to the marker. Then add 6 pistons facing this way and finish with another solid block at the end. Now repeat the same setup in the neighboring chunk. Then repeat the same setup on the opposite side as well. Now place solid blocks on both sides like this. On top of those blocks, place 6 sticky pistons in each chunk opposite the regular pistons and facing toward them, like this. Next, place a sand block on top of each regular piston. Then enclose the sand with solid blocks like this. Since it's a mirrored setup, you'll need to do the same on both sides. Now go ahead and place more solid blocks along the back like this. After that, add another layer on top of these blocks and the sticky pistons, just like this. The front of the farm will be on this side. For the redstone part, we need to add a few more solid blocks bridging both sides. Since this will be the front of the farm, start placing redstone dust on top of these blocks. On the next chunk's block, place a redstone repeater like this, then more redstone dust. Add another repeater there, followed by dust, and then one more repeater in the same chunk with more redstone dust after it, just like this. For the redstone wiring, extend this row by one more block and place a redstone dust line like this. At the end of your chunk, place a solid block, then add a repeater in the next chunk, followed by more redstone dust. To wrap around the farm, extend the row of solid blocks like this. Continue placing redstone dust like this. Then, within your chunk, place a solid block at the end, followed by a repeater in the next chunk and more redstone dust like this. And finally, a solid block in your chunk, a repeater in the next chunk, and more redstone dust. This is how your setup should look so far. To finish this phase of the redstone, place a solid block there and put redstone dust on top. Next, place 4 solid blocks in this pattern. Put repeaters on these 2 blocks facing that way. Then place 3 more solid blocks like this. On top of this block, place a repeater facing this way, set it to 2 ticks and place a redstone dust behind it. Place another solid block here, then attach a lever on this side. Flick the lever to activate the farm and extend all the pistons. On top of the repeater, place a solid block and attach a redstone torch to this side of that block. Then, place a solid block on top of the redstone torch. Next, put 2 redstone dust on these blocks and add another solid block here. That's how it should look so far. Now, place an iron trapdoor at the lower part of this block. Then put an observer on top of the trapdoor facing the trapdoor like this. Finally, add 1 more solid block on top of the observer. And that's how your redstone setup should look like. To fill the gap above the sticky pistons, place sand blocks there. Then flick the lever to turn the farm on and check if everything's working properly. Looks good. Now, place more solid blocks like this and repeat the same on the other side. This is how your setup should look at this point. Next, set up a water source near the farm like this. You'll need it for filling water buckets soon. Place water above each sand block and add 1 more water source against the block in this row. Repeat this for the other 3 chunks. Now plant kelp on top of each sand block. To fill the gap between the 2 sides, place ice blocks in between. I recommend using blue ice for the fastest item flow and because it won't melt. Place 1 more ice block there. Now cover all the kelp with glass blocks. Next, place a stair on each end of the glass. Make sure they're facing the correct direction, just like this. Then place more ice blocks on both sides, leaving a gap there. Close off both ends and the center using solid blocks. Then extend the backside by placing 2 more blocks like this. Now add sticky pistons facing toward the glass blocks, leaving a gap between them. Finally, seal the center gaps with solid blocks as well. Don't forget to place a solid block right here between the observer and the stair. Now waterlog all the stairs and then place water against each ice block just like this. To finish the last redstone line, place redstone dust on top of the sticky pistons and follow the same pattern you used earlier. Use solid blocks within your chunks and place repeaters in the next chunk. Then extend the row of solid blocks to connect both sides with redstone. The redstone part is done. Now seal the gap with 2 solid blocks and place water against both blocks. The water should flow into the next chunk like this. Next, place 2 buttons on top of the ice to shorten the water stream by 1 block. Then place a water bucket right here to guide the items toward the ice block extension. To seal off this side, place a solid block there. At this spot, you can set up your collection system later. Now flick the lever to test if everything works properly. But wait, we're not done yet. Looking good so far. The sticky pistons have pulled the glass blocks. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. To collect the kelp, place stairs in this pattern on top of the glass blocks. Then add blocks in the center like this. Close off the back by placing more blocks there. And add some blocks at the front as well. Finally, place 2 rows of glass panes like this. Now waterlog each of the stairs. Then place 1 more water bucket there and repeat this in all 3 remaining chunks. Seal off the front by placing 2 more solid blocks there. If you want to save some glass panes, you can replace the center with 4 solid blocks instead. Kelp can sometimes get stuck on top of the blocks, so to prevent that, add 1 more row of solid blocks or glass like this. Finally, remove the water source if you don't need it anymore by placing 4 blocks there. Now let me run the farm for just 30 seconds to show you that it can fill a double chest with kelp in that time. It's pretty fast, right? What should I upload next? Drop a comment and help me out with some ideas. Actually, in one of my next videos, I'll show you how to build a super mega smelter, a huge upgrade from my previous super smelter. And guess what? This kelp farm will be the fuel source for it. If you're wondering what to do with all the kelp, besides using it as fuel, you can turn it into bone meal, which is super useful for other farms, like crop farms or tree farms. With the massive amount this farm produces, it's a great way to keep a steady bone meal supply going too. And there you have it. It's actually faster than 30 seconds, judging by how much kelp comes in right after you flick the lever. Now let me give you some tips. Always turn the farm off before you leave. Otherwise the kelp or sand can break and you have to replace them. Sometimes the kelp breaks on its own, so you'll need to turn off the farm and replant it in that spot. If you leave the farm running and trying to place the broken kelp, the sand at the top and bottom might break as well. Just pick the sand up and put it back in place. I'd also recommend placing a torch or two around here to keep mobs from spawning. Don't worry, because we use blue ice, the ice won't melt. This farm is awesome, and I truly believe it's the best zero-tick kelp farm in Bedrock Edition. In my upcoming super smelter video, I'll show you how to connect this farm to the smelter and set up the drying process to get tons of dried kelp blocks to fuel the super smelter. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. See ya.